one part of fantasy baseball is the baseball, and the fantasy part. So let's go over fantasy pickups that we see, the trends in different leagues and overall. Steve, what do you got in front of you?
I'm looking at a CBS list of roster trends for most added players over, I can't really tell what the thing is, maybe like the past week or so. What do you have in front of you?
In front of me, I have a Yahoo, because we both play in a Yahoo head-to-head league also. I have a Yahoo list of all the players, like everybody been taken in that league or not, their season total, and it's divided by ads. So the top player added in Yahoo, I would think, since the beginning of the year. I don't know if that means pre-draft also, or just since the season started, but it's a list that is interesting and co-aligns with your list
Yep.
a little, I believe.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of overlap for sure.
Absolutely. Who's the top on your list?
Top on my list is Jordan Hicks, the pitcher from San Francisco. And
Sure.
I think I got him recently. I think I put in a claim on him and I did get him. I got him for $1. I mainly picked him up that day because I think he was starting against the Mariners the next day, and it didn't really go as great as I wanted. But I think he's somebody I'll hold on to for a while. Um, Next guy is this guy Hunter Goodman from Colorado. Let's talk about Hunter Goodman
Let's talk about Hunter Goodman.
because he's another guy that wasn't really on my radar. And let's see why. Well, last year, he batted 190 with like a 650 or a 645 ops, so that's pretty bad. And he's only 25 years old. He plays every outfield position but
And
first base,
yeah,
and he plays at Colorado. Yeah, plays at Colorado.
doesn't he
So,
play catcher
I
also? No?
does he play catcher also? He does.
Yes.
Oh, so he's sorry, left field, right field, first base, catcher.
Yeah,
Gotcha. Gotcha. All right, I see the appeal there for sure. And
absolutely.
Rick's got him. He's rostered by Rick. So, but he's hitting 229, and his ops are better this year, around 750. But he hasn't been good yet. Just saying. But he's the number two most added player in the CBS environment.
Wow.
Who's the
That's
who's the
yeah.
top two on the Yahoo?
The top two of the Yahoo, and I changed it to last 14 days. That way it doesn't include like before. You know what I mean? I don't know how that would be because people are drafted really early. So, um, the top ads would be Alvarado from the Phillies is the top guy added in the CBS league based on my looking at it for the last 14 days. Then after that, it's Mike Bubick now, and then Zach Veen, top three.
Yeah, so a little more a little more competitiveness in our league, it seems, even though there's only 10 teams and a lot of experts would say it's a shallow league. We do have 30-man rosters. So and we're definitely competitive. The Veen is already rostered and picked up by Rick. Bubich was already picked up in our league.
Right, but
And
it co-aligns with that list I gave because they were picked up.
oh yeah, yeah. And Alvarado, who what you said was number two on your list
Number
there?
one, Alvarado was number one.
Oh, number one. He's number nine in the CBS league.
So that's yeah, very similar. Absolutely,
Yep.
very interesting. People who weren't drafted but picked up early in the season. Who else you got going on your list?
Uh, Shortstop Geraldo Perdomo from the
Yeah,
Diamondbacks,
yeah.
who is still out there. He has not been picked up in our league yet, and he's up to a good start for sure. Clearly, that's why he's getting picked up. Uh, the Angels second baseman Paris, right?
Right,
And
right.
number five would be McGill, the
Yeah,
pitcher
that's
from the
funny.
Mets.
That's funny. He's also similar. One, two, three, four, five, six on my list is McGill. So that's funny. And Paris is fifth on my list. And after Veen at third was May from the Dustin May from the Dodgers. Uh, Paris is
Oh
playing for
yes,
the Dustin May is before Paris and McGill. So similar list overall. People picked up.
that's nice to know.
That is nice to know. Both
Um,
leagues pretty similar. What do you got next to go through the last few here?
let's say six, seven, and eight is William Flores from the Giants, Luke Jackson from Texas Rangers, Otto Lopez from the Marlins.
Otto Lopez has been picked up. People are high on him. Um, that's a good. Those are on my list a little farther down. My next three, starting at seven because Mego was six. Wisniewski, Grisham from the Yankees, and Soderstrom, who should have been drafted really, but I think was gotten in
Yeah,
our snake draft. I'm looking for the guys you said. Perdomo's down there, like eight or nine down. I'm looking for other people you just mentioned. I don't see him. Ben Rice is way down there. So these are just everybody, all the players. Flores, I see way down there. You picked him up in the Field of Dreams, the head-to-head
I
league.
did because in the Yahoo head-to-head league, I picked up Flores because I lost somebody to the IL, and I'm short on corner infielders. That
So I
seems to
see a
be my fucking
theme.
team this
I
year.
see a theme to your
Yeah,
drafting. I do. I see a theme. Well, these are all players. And as we said before in earlier podcasts, this is so hard to judge at the beginning of the year. Chris Shelton once had like 12 homers in the month of April. And then I think he had five more for the rest of the year. So you have the people who start
it's
hot who aren't going to keep it up. And you got the players who, listen, the ones who have done it for 2 to 3 years or more, you can kind of count on them at the end of the day. They're probably going to be where they usually are.
yes. I mean, it's very low. I mean, two or three, maybe three or four,
Three or
right? Let's
four.
say 3 or 4 years.
Yeah, if you've done it for 3 or 4 years, it's like you're gonna get there. But the guys who have done it for one or two are the ones you're like, I don't know if I can rely on them if they're gonna do it again.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And you got to sit on them, and it's hard to sit on them. Even these guys who eventually come through for you at the end of the year, they may have a lousy month and a half,
hmm
and you drop
And
them.
sometimes there's also plenty of times too, which it happens to every baseball player at some point where it just ends, right? They're just not good anymore. Like, I mean, who's to say like a Red Sox homer that I love, like Andrew Benintendi? Like
Yeah,
he got drafted as a college kid, came up like quick and made an immediate impact, and then was like great for like maybe 2.5 years, 3.5 years, and then it just all ended before he
right.
even turned fucking 28 years old, 29 years old. It was over,
You have
and
those guys who have that like that little flurry of like a few years. They flame out really quickly. Yeah, he was one of them. Another guy who had a longer stretch of good years, but flamed out pretty fast. I thought maybe he was older. I believe was first baseman for the White Sox, Abreu.
oh yeah, he was definitely older, but yeah.
But still, didn't he just kind of all of a sudden like, what? You don't hit anymore?
Yeah, and he also, I think he was an MVP like a year or two earlier, and then he
Yeah,
was just done.
I think he was 35 or 36, but still, he was just done. So you just never know what is going to happen to him, whether it's a flame out player or even a guy like Abreu who had a string of good years, but just to like, I hit my expiration date. It's time. I'm done. And the injury. It's always the injury. A lot of it's the injury, of course, Steve.
It's always great in fantasy when you drop someone and they never pan out, right? You're like, I cut bait on that guy and it did not come back to fuck me. That's one of the more satisfying feelings, I think, in fantasy baseball,
Absolutely.
because you drop a guy and someone else picks him up and then he catches fire. Those are the worst moments of fantasy baseball.
Oh my gosh. And then, he ends up being a league winner if some guy you dropped helped him get there. I mean, absolutely. And the patience of sitting on players, which you got to just kind of feel your way, which ones are going to snap out of it, which ones aren't. I've had more bad drops than good pickups.
Yeah, I would imagine. I
I
think, yeah,
Yeah.
it's got to be at least 50-50 for all of us, right? Like nobody's above the 50-50 line on that, I wouldn't think.
I don't know. I mean, for me, obviously, I'd have to have a lot more good pickups, and I do. I do find a lot of good pickups every year, but I'm very active in picking and dropping up people, and I've definitely dropped people
Yep.
that I just kick my butt later. I'm like, why didn't I just be patient with that guy? But overall, I like to think I'm near 50-50. But yeah, 50-50, just as many bad as good pickups.
Hmm.
Same with you, you would say?
Yeah. I'm like, God, I'm probably giving myself too much credit and saying maybe I'm close to 50-50. Like, because I'm trying to think how many people have I dropped that I've regretted because they've gone on to other teams and kicked ass, versus how many times have I picked someone up during the season and they became a lifesaver.
Right.
Maybe what, 35, 65, and I'm the pro 35, maybe. I don't know. That
That's
might be
good.
too high. Who knows?
That might be too high, but that's nice to think you think that.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yes, I do think
it's
that.
nice to have that perspective on yourself. Absolutely. Real. No, hey, listen. Being positive is part of it, man. I don't sit here and dwell on all those bad pickups. I think about the good ones, and that's true, man. It's the only way to get through life. It's so easy to trudge through going, man, I did that wrong, and I did that wrong, and I shouldn't have done that. I'm not going to think about those things. Real quick, let's go through this short episode. Let's go through the top players. I'm looking at CBS 2025 year to date. Judge, Tucker are the first two. That makes sense, kind of, right?
Yep.
Then
Yeah.
we have Abreu, who's number three right now, 10 days in, from the Red
Wilyer
Sox.
Abreu, the number three hitter, $0 salary.
Wow.
Zero.
Wow. Tatis is
I mean, you
next.
can't get any better.
You can't get any better than that. Will he keep it up? I don't know. I heard he worked on his swing a little. We'll see what happens. I had him last year, and I liked him enough to keep him on my team for a while. Tatis is next with the guy you just traded, Hernandez, and then
Oh
Merrill.
my God, I can't. If I would have seen that Teoscar Hernandez was ranked that high, I might not have done that deal, but whatever.
Hey, Steve, your time machine has not been fixed. There's no way you can go back.
Number
Yeah, no,
number
that it's an
14.
interesting trade. I think in the long run you might like it. And if Berger hits 25 to 30 homers and 250, you'll like it. Um,
Yeah.
but Merrill, like I said, both those guys are on Zach's team. Why he's up in the standings. Hernandez and Merrill are both on his team. Volpe is next with Mullins and Edman.
Volpe, a $2 bid. Volpe, the number 20 player at $2.
Wow, wow, you gotta love that, right?
Then several cheapies coming up.
Yeah, but Mullins and Edman, like I said, then
Mu-
Horner and Chisholm. Well, Chisholm wasn't. He was
No, but
expensive.
Mullins is five, Edmonds is six, Horner is one.
One. Paris is
Yeah.
one
Although that,
after Chisholm.
yeah,
Grisham,
although he was a pickup.
the 30th best player in fantasy right now, is on our waiver wire.
Wow. Is
I
anybody listening?
Is anyone listening? Is anybody out there? Well, he has 22 at bats in 8 games. He's got 3 homers, 9 ribbies, 8 runs. He's batting 454 with a 539 on base percentage. Now, he doesn't play right field, though. That's a bummer for me. Um, but yeah, top 30 player. We
Yeah.
haven't. That's pretty amazing. He'll probably won't last long. Possibly he will. I don't know about his playing time. Herrera, who just went on the IL for Crushers, is next, and Ramos
Yep.
and Soderstrom, who I think was gotten in the snake draft.
Yes. Soderstrom is a $0 reserve draft guy, and he's the number 34 player in the game.
So that's very interesting. Uh, Mullins, by the way, Mullins was your player, and Chisholm was my player. Um, Ohope Ohapi, Big Al, dividends right now at catcher. Terang. A lot of people didn't want him. He got him for next to nothing, I believe.
Zach, that was a keeper for Zach. He
Oh
had him
yeah,
for a
that's
dollar last
right.
year. He kept him for $6, and he kind of poo-pooed it. Like he was like, I'm not even really that excited
I
about
don't even
keeping
want
him.
him.
But here he is. He's the
Well,
number 39 player at $6.
10 games in, dividends, and it's nice to get off that good
Yep.
start. O'Neill Cruz, also another Fury, so he's got a lot of top players. Bregman,
Yeah, he
and
does.
then finally another player of mine, Suarez, who, in some ways has kept me afloat in some. I mean, he has 5 homers and 11 ribbies. Now, mind you, he's hitting 176.
176,
I
but
didn't I didn't
with a
realize that. I didn't realize that till right
yeah,
now. That's because his last 3 games he's over. So, but yeah,
176 is bad, but he has a 964 OPS.
yes,
964.
yeah, it's crazy.
So what he's getting on base, like his on base is 317,
He's
which is for
walking
a
a lot.
176 average. That's amazing.
He's got 6 walks in 10 games. Nothing wrong
Yeah.
with that.
So he's walking and hitting home runs or
Yep,
striking out or
he's dr-
getting out.
he's getting out. I don't know about the strikeouts. Then we have Campbell, who you traded for, ranked
Ooh, look at
50th.
him at number 50.
Yeah.
That's not bad
And then another guy
for a
available who you
dollar.
picked up in the head-to-head league, Flores, at 51. He is available. He's a
Mm,
guy, listen, he's a guy that's been around. 2 years ago he had 23 homers and batted 284. Last year he was injured, only had 71 games, batted 206. But he's been around and he's hot right now. He's batting 4 homers, 12 ribbies. I mean, 5 runs, not very good runs, but 273. He's out there waiting for somebody like you who needs corner infield.
yeah,
Next is Schwarber for the
yeah.
Phillies. Nice to see him at 52. Then Betts with the moonshots at 54. We love Mookie. We just think he could have gotten for 51. Perdomo is next. And he also, Perdomo, available. He's out there. We brought him up earlier. Uh, he's off to a hot start. He's batting 314, 341 on base. 12 ribbies is really what's doing it for him. 2 stolen bases. So he's going to play. He's the shortstop for Arizona.
hmm Seems it. And especially now, Marte's injured.
Yeah, absolutely. So he's going to play. Just rounding them off real quick: Suzuki, De La Cruz, Alonso, Jose Ramirez, Green, Nootbaar, and Churio, and Julio Rodriguez make up the top 80. Well, let's go to 84 because my player Jimenez. Uh, I can't count on
Andre
him.
Jimenez.
Yeah, man, he started out well. He's got 3 homers. He's
Yep.
not. He's not.
Can't,
Toronto's
can't.
batting him fourth.
Good Lord, they are?
I kid you not. Yes, it's that's where he's been batting this year is fourth. Is
Mm.
I find it odd, but that's what they're doing.
He's listed at 5'11", 161 pounds.
I don't know.
Seems odd.
It seems odd, but that's what they've been doing. Uh, I'm just gonna real quick go see if that's what they're doing tonight. Are they playing? The Blue Jays, Blue Jays, Blue Jays. Where are the Blue Jays? I don't see them playing, of course. That's I wanted to find out, and then I can't. But yeah, they've been batting him fourth. And I don't know how long. Here's yesterday's box score. He batted one, two, three, fourth. Yeah. Bichette, Guerrero Jr., Santander, Jimenez, and then Kirk is batting fifth. So, I mean, I don't know if they're arresting somebody, but that's not devastating to me. Maybe that's why they're 5-5. Well, that was great going over the pickups that are going on in fantasy, how the players are starting out 10 games in. A quick part 3 coming out about the baseball part on Fantasy Baseball Baseball.